Okay, greetings. Join us. Okay, we're in Sedona, as you can tell in the background. So, okay, we have fine people here. We're going to make a couple of connections here, and just kind of play it by ear, go as long as we need to go. So, all right, if you want to orchestrate it also, or if nobody's asking anything, you might want to keep things moving if nobody has a question. So, all right. I can't pronounce those names, but anyway, okay. So we have a water god. We have Hatshepsut, something like that. A water god, we just call him that. And Sedona consciousness, that can go into anything. So if my camera stays, we'll see. All right, here we go. Grease you. This is yes, have said yes. You can't pronounce anything, but it's a female Egyptian pharaoh goddess. Basically, I was during my time misunderstood. You say buried by history on purpose. Not one that was there to be reigned for a long time. You can say I didn't really understand myself or even understand my whole position until after the fact. So it's very frightening to be in that position at all. It was not something I wanted, and it was yes a privilege, but more of like you're just getting everyone's complaints basically, and it didn't feel like I had the power that I could. Over time, in my middle period of uh, my my reign, that's why I feel like I was connecting more to my power, but by then I was more under control at that time. The Egyptian energies, yes, is very strong in your Sedona. There is many faces here that don't want to be seen. So they have some memories here, but most of that's been forgotten. And yes, there's an Atlantean connection to the Egyptians. Well, basically, they didn't call themselves Egyptians at that time. That's what you call them, but they don't always call themselves Atlanteans. But basically, they share their knowledge around the world. Basically, there's also Egyptian energies around the planet, actually. If you have any questions, please. You're right. If there are any questions.
Were the red rocks in Sedona once statues of beings and other things?
Some of them are statues. A lot of this is hiding information. So it's basically concealing knowledge. You can say from your age that I was not remembering anything anymore. So basically, the earth kind of closed off a lot of Akashic knowledge. Well, so what you call the ground is basically alive, like the ground has a face. Of course, you don't see that because you're wandering it, but if you see it from the sky, obviously you can't always see it. Like you see in trees, trees have a face. That literally the soil of what you live on has many faces. So, and it didn't want to be seen anymore, you can say, at least in that area. Any questions?
Are we in the process of reactivating that land or connecting with the land to where we will want to communicate or connect with those again?
Yes, but the land's not always sure if the land can read your energy pretty well, also. But yes, you are making a connection, but many don't trust themselves. So they connect, but then they say nothing's happening, so they let it go. So the land is always trying to connect or attempting to connect. So, but those of you that are connecting, yeah, it's basically Mother Earth working through you. But of course, there's few of you, of course.
When visiting the vortexes, is there a certain kind of activity or outcome that the land would like to work with us on?
Well, it works with your crown chakra. So it's there to activate, yes, connecting to your higher self. If you would like it to, it is better. I mean, it is good to go in a group, but also by yourself if you know what you're doing. It's kind of like you turn into like a tuning fork. So you tune with the earth. And obviously, if you live there for a long time, you become part of the land, depending on what vibration you are at. So where you are connecting to, uh, what comes to mind? Basically, vortexes also have a sense of humor too. Might hear a joke talked. It depends on who you are. Some need it. Some are just like too serious for it. They can have a lot of laughter though too. Basically, vortex is just other versions of Earth or other planets also, but a lot of other versions of Earth. So vortex, you basically talk to it. It'll talk to everyone differently. Some of you it's just glad to see you. It might not say anything, but for some of you, you can get download. It's basically just a cleanse the energy. But yes, you can go into a vortex and feel like you're connected to another reality or several. And which is also another part of that is you might feel you connect to a mirror version of your world where another version of you is at the same point that you are. So that's something else to think about. Is there another version of you on the other side? Something to think about. So the Egyptians, during my time, yes, we're like modern humans, ignorant, and take ownership for things that are not built. But the ones that built a lot of the monuments of the ancient world didn't want to be remembered anyway. It's like, we're leaving this with you, but you can call it whatever you want. So basically, those that wanted to help humanity were told to leave. Well, you couldn't see them, basically. They're still here. It's just humans have to earn that connection. Or be told what to do by a god, which many went by that. Which is happening in modern society, as many of you know, in different ways.
If I share an experience, do you mind adding some clarity?
Yes.
The last time I was here in Sedona, I felt like we were undergoing initiations that had began in a higher dimension that were like manifesting physically here in this time space or dimension. And the last time I was here was 11/11/2021. 2020. 11/11/2020. I guess, can you clarify or share some clarification on the experience of maybe initiations we undergo in higher realms or other realities that we may like see experience, like when you were saying we might interact with another part of ourselves?
Yes. So with your situation, it was kind of complicated. You weren't really sure if you wanted to take this on, so you agreed to it because you weren't always sure if humanity would appreciate it either. So it's like I don't know why I'm seeing a Clash of the Titans for some reason. So, but yeah, you're connecting more to your journey, but others obviously still have that. But yes, you inspire others to follow the same path for you. Those that are on the same path as you but have not went to that initiation, you don't necessarily have to go to Sedona to do that. But just for you that worked, others can go other places. It doesn't have to be their backyard. But for you, it's just connect to that energy basically did an alignment with the astral. So you agree, yes, you're like I said, you agreed upon it, you didn't have to. So you're kind of hesitant. It's like, I'll do this, maybe I'll think about it. At least that's what we're saying. So when you finally agreed to it, yeah, now it's harnessing you and it's sending out. So you're still trying to figure out what to do with it from what I can see. You are making progress, yes, but I feel like there's much more to go. Basically, you're feeling the pushback from others, as I think you said. And that's been that's one of the reasons you're hesitant to take on that role. But yeah, you'll get your wings. Doesn't mean you'll have to fly, but you'll get your wings. You'll just feel them. You might even feel them, possibly.
Yes.
But it's kind of like you're more of the heavy side of it right now. But it'll clear up. it just you feel humanity is pushed back. The programming, not that you're here to reprogram it, but you're here just basically to it's kind of like a fish, you know, tossing water on a boat or splashing, just little pieces, like almost like a fairy blowing energy or pixie dust to the world. Just see what, yeah, basically put your information out there and see where it goes. And it can be talking to one person, and you decide it can go out to the world. Sometimes you keep it to where, because the world can't handle certain things, as you probably know that. Not that you wouldn't want to share it, but there's some things you just, it put others out of alignment. You really will. They're just not, many are not done being harmful to themselves. They're not realizing they're even doing it. They're doing what the masters told them to do.
Yes. Thank you, sister.
Yes. All right. So, I believe the water god was the Aztec water god wants to come through. So,
Yes.
grease you. So just keep it simple. It's Aztec energies with your planet. There, yes, many were of course aggressive, but they also took knowledge and misused it. So it was higher knowledge there, of course, similar to the Mayans. Many left the planet. Yes, so basically there was an extraterrestrial connection there through the people. Yes, the Mayan became very strange, what you would call, but basically opened up their chakras. Some misinterpreted a lot of the information also. That's one of the reasons why it had to clear itself out. Just it was being so misinterpreted as much as happening now. But the same, it just they ran their process. But much of Aztec, of course, is in Mexico and will continue to do so. So it did what it needed to do in Peru and will continue to do so. Of course, it's magic, high vibrational, not magic. And of course, the more high vibrational time frame is not remembered, more the aggressive side, because they were trying to reconnect to their masters, you could say, or their teachers. And they just got impatient. And so that's where sacrifices are coming in and all that. They didn't know what to do. They did everything they could think of, and none of it was working. To access, for rains to stop, for weather to improve, they just weren't getting anywhere with it. If you have any questions?
When you said they performed sacrifices out of desperation because nothing was working, did it work at one time just by mistake, and then they decided
Yes.
to keep trying it?
Misinterpreted, though.
Right. Exactly.
It was not, yes. It was, yes, you can say a miracle happened after a sacrifice, but that was never the intention for that to occur. You can say there was some trickster energy with that. There was some interference. Just enough to get them to continue that, and of course it never worked again. But it doesn't matter, the damage wasn't done. So it's another reason, because the dark history of the Aztec, why some are reluctant to connect to it. Because a lot of the high vibrational knowledge has been forgotten. You only hear about the war and everything else. Just like your world currently. History keeps repeating itself.
Is there any significance to the weather we're experiencing or the storm that's coming in tomorrow? Is it adding any purification energies? Or?
Yeah, there's also aggressive energy there. The earth wants to be known, or the beings here want to say they are still in control of the world, but you don't have to listen to that. They're just showing that, they're tough, basically. But you can dissipate their energy also. They're not that strong. Now, around the eastern, where all the snow hits, they hit it so hard because they can. You can get away with it. But see how you're doing energy work here, it's a little bit different. You do what you can, because they can't fight back, though. But weather manipulation is for, like, the Draconians, for example. it works with the mind. Basically, they can just, as you many of you in your own intentions, they just, and some of them get together, literally do like a seance. It's not always your humans here doing it. Obviously, they are aware of it to some level. Of course, yes, your Illuminati beings, some are very extraterrestrial. I mean, they're human, but they're very alien, even AI. They're all, but they keep themselves completely hidden. Basically, they're like you guys, but they're like taught to be the spiritual kind of freaks, you could say. But they keep themselves hidden. They can even read minds to a certain level. They also put aggressive energy out there. Like they want to feel like they're stronger than everybody.
Do they know who was coming to this? Do they know the energies?
No, of course, yes. They know for weeks ahead.
Wow.
I know it's months, but it's mostly weeks. So they're not always paying attention to everything, but they can feel the vibration shifting. They don't always know what it's about, but they just know they need to act.
Were they trying to stop any of the people that came from coming?
Maybe not on a personal level, but just on a. They know that you're here to do something different, and they're not interested in it. So, but they know they have the world under their control, obviously. The world has their back, but it's not completely. It's out of control. They can lose control over it easily. So, but they know they have it. So they feel like this is kind of like, yeah, like the storm is kind of like a, you know, like an insect, causing difficulties. It comes out like a fly. Just being aggressive. But there is a cleansing energy with it also. Yes. There is with darkness, there is also light. So it might be storms, it might be a lot of negativity, but also, yes, there can be a cleanse that comes through it also.
Are there any pyramids? I see a lot of shapes as we're out here in the rock formations, the mountains, what appears to be mountains. Are there pyramids out here? Are there any structures that might be similar to ancient Egypt? Anywhere out
Yeah,
here?
mostly underground. They're not going to, yeah, most of that's been hidden. They'll give you too much of a clue of your path. Basically, a lot of the Lancing energies are here, yes. Flying vehicles and all of that, of course. So they close it off just enough where people aren't going to notice. So, yeah, there's a lot of energy weapons in this area too. There was good, but also at the end it became more. The vortex was used for other means. Also an escape. So as the world was falling apart, a lot of the beings escaped and went to other planets and things like that. And the ones that caused a lot of difficulties just went somewhere else. Why they could still, and others got trapped here, of course, and then started reincarnating here.
What causes them to get trapped?
Well, when Atlantis fell apart, the reincarnation cycle is really increased, where you can't remember anything. More of just the amnesia started. So the elites that caused difficulties here, they became imprisoned here. Technically, yes, it's a prison planet to a certain level. It depends on how you look at it.
Is that the veil that we hear people talk about, the veil? Or is that something different?
No, something like that, yes. Well, basically, the reincarnation is like a technology. It's a technology programming your future human. How you want your humans to be. As you can see, there is agendas of how children are, raised, genetic farming, you can say.
What's the purpose behind that though? Like why enslave all of these
Because the world
souls?
was not responsible for taking care of itself in the past. So it just didn't respect what it had. So it was just easy for the taking. It was ignorant that was very powerful and just became extremely ignorant. It was just weak. It had a lot of talent, a lot of power, but just weak. And obviously a lot of darkness that you can see. So we connect to also the Sedona consciousness, so we bring that energy through. Greens. Yes, the Sedona consciousness, yes, it's actually a young energy, kind of a young child, playful energy. That is why it has a powerful frequency here. It's still a youngling and continues to stay young. It is connected to other planets, of course. It brings other worlds closer to yours. So, yes, there's other planets here, obviously. You're not seeing them multidimensional. Obviously, just the veil is not being opened. So many come here to connect, yes, their Akashic record to open, even change their lives. As you went through, I believe, change yourself. That doesn't mean they're all coming here to change your whole lives. That's you can. It's just one of the places where you can do it at. Some choose Hawaii, some choose Bermuda. There's other places, of course. There are some places that you choose because also you're connecting to the ancient energies of those, like of this place, the vortexes, the knowledge of it. Of course, you're opening up what you need for your knowledge here. Obviously, you can connect to 1,000 lifetimes. You can remember everything, but you just remember what you need. Like a tool, basically, your energy on energy level, it is a tool, and you use what you need, but you can switch it out and adjust the world as it shifts. So Sedona welcomes everyone. Obviously, others know that, so that's why they kind of closed off the entrances. But that's fine. We'll find a way to get you here somehow. They're not that powerful. It just shows how weak they are. That's all. Your militaries, they're ignorant. Yes, they're aggressive, but they can kill you, but your spirit still stays. It actually gets stronger. If they do kill you, you just get stronger, and they get weaker. They know that. If there's any questions, please.
What's the real purpose of the vortex energies? Is it to nourish the planet's energies, or is it for us to take something energetically or educationally from this vortex energy? Is it for us to help the earth heal or nourish itself? What's the real purpose?
No, it's
behind
both
energy?
ways. It goes to other planets. It goes, other worlds are learning about it. Other worlds are testing your planet. So it does bring aggressive energies, but also makes things kinder. It's all, yeah, it just, like I said, it's connected to other realities. So, but you come here to many just come to open themselves up, to strengthen themselves.
Do ships or beings from other star systems come here and actually harness the energies from the vortices? And if so, what's the purpose of that?
A lot of it is to clear out the aggravation, negativity here. It's like one of the places they can come to just clear a lot of it out because many get so negative and lost. They just send it to another star system or dissipate it, clear it out. Mm-hmm. It's just easier for alien energies to see your worlds, and that's a connecting point. You can connect to any place, but if like New York, it doesn't have the best welcoming frequency. You go to Sedona, put your ship in the sky, nobody's gonna mess with you. Even the military is not really doing anything. Not really. They kind of welcome it actually, trying to learn from it. So certain places, kind of like this is a neutral zone. This is where anybody can come.
As a group and as a collective, do we have a mission here that we've been called to come to this space at this time that we're supposed to do while we're here?
Well, you'll figure that out, won't you? Well, you figure out individually, and it'll just show itself whenever it needs to, if it ever needs to. Just have a good time, basically. Truth will come out what needs to come out. It's just understanding the land. Some of you just plan on coming back here, so I can reintroducing it to you for a future visit. So it has many different reasons. Some don't want to come here alone. They come with others. So
what can we do also as a group to give to Gaia, to give towards healing of the planet, humanity, creation? What can we do?
Figure out your own journey. That helps Gaia. The stronger you are to handle your life, Gaia feels that. When people get weak, Gaia gets weak. So the more stronger you are, the stronger the earth comes. That's where Gaia can show more of her energies. The world can shift. Obviously, a lot of souls are very weak. It's easy to fall into negativity, just being told what to do, which has been programmed in society. It's hard to deprogram from that. But you can also become an alien and just go somewhere and somebody can tell you what to do there too. It's not just here. It's far from it. You're just at a higher vibration, still being told by a mothership telling you what to do. Some just can't quite ready to make their own decisions yet.
Do we have any star family over the area now that's looking out for us or guiding us? Or
Yes, there's many. There's a Palladian frequency. There's others that don't want to be known. There's Arcturian. There's different. Not a lot of them don't want to be known. They just want to see what you do, and they might show up possibly. Some of them are half man, half animal, feline beings, and so on.
Myself and other people have had dreams and visions about Sedona being underwater or on the beach in the future. Is there a potential timeline where Sedona floods or partially floods?
Yeah.
Part of the state?
Well, first off, it's part of the past also. But yes, there's a future timeline. Yes, when Sedona is no longer needed for its purpose.
Are we looking outside of our lifetime for that? Or?
Oh yes, you are. If that was the case, you would see it leaking right now. You would see many massive weather changes already to get to this point. Of course, technically, water can burst out of the ground, technically, but it's not going to happen anytime soon.
the energies have been super intense. I know a lot of people have been really feeling this shift, and then just like almost feels like I described it sticking your finger in a socket. So, what are we supposed to get from that, and what do we do with it so that we can, if it's part of our mission, right, to either take action or do something energetically?
Well, you're already doing it now. Just about being here. So yeah, you found a time, like now's the time to do it. Technically, this was kind of like a last minute get together, technically, on purpose. Basically, you found a hole to come through. It's like you have all, you notice there's, oh, look, we're busy here. We don't need you here. Yeah, no surprise. But you found an opening where it would just work. Right time also, right before the new year, has a purpose. So this might not always show why you're here right now. It might take a couple of years to realize it. Is it that important? That's up to you if it's important or not. There's no rush to know. Just how you feel now. Everyone defines their moment right now. May make it too complicated. Everything's so complicated here. Even those are awakened, complicated. Even the aliens say, I can't do this.
We've been seeing a lot of volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, the sort of warning signs or starting signs of serious planetary shifts.
No, it just looks that way. No, that's just the media. Well, many have experienced it in other versions of Earth, where there's like, oh, nothing will happen, and all of a sudden their world's gone. Then they get sent here. So you're hearing from those that have been sent from cataclysm worlds. A lot of them are part of those cataclysms. There's a reason for it. It's like, I screwed up. I was one of them, not the one, but one of them. So they're losing their minds here. They're really going crazy. They'd rather have the world just implode and get it over with. Say, look, we're right. That's not going to happen, though. But they're going crazy because it's not happening. But that's something they have to iron out. It's like, you're stuck here.
So they're trying to manifest it, or they're manifesting?
They're trying. They're getting anywhere with it. No, there's not. You will see all these massive. You don't see anything. Yeah, this Earth. The Earth is basically like a human. It blows steam. It has, it's just having like anybody else. It's just a planet doing it. That's all. I mean, it gets tired of all this frustration. It just has to blow sometimes, like with volcanic situations. The hurricane energies is, yes, a lot of times from other beings attacking it, kind of like a fly, like a mosquito, to attack the people. It's a game. It's going to cause confusion here. There's a lot of selfish beings here. I mean, not talking about humans, just behind the scenes. It's a lot of selfishness.
In
It's
Sedona, or like
The world.
are you referring to the planet?
the planet.
Yeah.
Sedona has some of that, yes. A lot of wannabes. They call themselves a general. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Short man syndrome.
Yeah.
It's like you might be a top ranking somebody, but nobody cares. But I tell them that.
Yeah. There's a lot of like reports about like there being infiltration or impurity, right, of the energies or the intentions, right, in Sedona. And like, you know, is that the case? And or how could like we, right, as a collective with intention make it a better place or leave a good energy here, right, to make it better?
Well, you're already doing it now. Your intentions, just your intentions alone. That's all it has to be. Just do whatever you want to do. Yeah, don't feel like you have to heal it. Just be. It wants you to be what you want to do. And it'll enjoy that with you. Yes, if it gets mad at you, it will kick you out, but it won't do that for you. Obviously, it'll kick out some of these other ones, but they found a way to anchor themselves here. Military. It's just, in some ways, it's kind of protecting the people from themselves, because humanity's been treated like a trained monkey, technically. It just hasn't quite unlearned. It's hard. Dogs go through it also. Once they learn a certain thing, it's hard to break free of that. So yeah, Sedona or the planet is okay taking as long as humanity needs to take. So many feel like the world's going to ascend soon. It's like if you see humanity ascending, which they're not, and they are very slow. More like backwards. Some are going back. Some are going forward. If they get to the next day, that's forward. That's a forward for them. Surviving, family members that are very aggressive. So, yeah, those third dimensional don't believe in spirituality. They are doing a lot of spiritual work on a third dimensional level. Deal with like in-laws, things like that. In-laws are just horrible. Some of them are great. Some are just evil. They just because they can be evil. They literally get possessed. They get possessed just so they can taunt them because they know they have like power. It's really, yeah. And humanity doesn't want to hear that. Well, they don't want to hear it. Others want to hear it. So yeah, that's another reason why all this energy work is pushed to the side because others don't want it to be heard. It hurts. The truth hurts. It really does. Because they can't be here anymore. They're having fun because the world's at a low frequency. So basically humans here, some of them are tricksters, obviously, and they're having a blast here. So it's their party. For now, at least.
Does the light win?
Well, there's light and dark. So basically, light and dark becomes more saying hello to each other. It's like, why are we fighting again? So why do we separate ourselves? Because technically you're together. But as you say, light and dark, you're overall separate, but really you're together. It's not looking at it that way. Everybody has light and dark. For it to be separated, it's like, obviously many alien beings have done that and made a big mistake with that. Because then they get taken over.
What's the biggest cause for that separation? Why don't people see what's causing that separation and overcome that more easily?
Because it feels good being a higher frequency. They get so high on it, they can get more aggressive actually. Yeah, they can become more dark actually. They like the feeling of it. Of course, the dark loves the feeling of where they are. Of course, there's light and dark if you want to look at different ways. Different points of view. We'll just call it that to make it easy. It's just different points of view. So, but yes, many come into let's see the more positive side as they say it, and it's like having a love seat, a comfort chair. Oh, just good to hear. Good, good. All good vibrations, and ignorance appears. Ignorance surrounds them. Ignorance takes them down.
Is it willful ignorance ignorance? Is it a knowing ignorance?
Yeah.
Or is it true ignorance?
It's all of it.
Like some part of them has to know this.
Yeah, they ignore it. Say this feels good. What is it? And and then they get thrown back into the system. They get thrown to worlds like this. So we don't know what to do with you, so they send you to Earth. Now you can bypass that, but many don't. They don't know what to do with themselves. They get lost. That's the other thing, you get lost. And you have a lot of that here. Not everybody's lost, but quite a few of them are.
Lost because they forget? Why did they get lost? How did they get
Well,
lost?
because they get high vibration and then they lose their power. They get taken over by other forces and they don't know what to believe anymore. So they get sent here. So some believe light is the answer, some feel darkness is the answer. Yeah. It's like a tug of war. If you become more balanced, light and dark, you basically talk to dark, horrible people and just make amends with it and just say, I'm not judging you. You're like a murderer, serial killer, etc. Serial killer is a little bit more complicated, but you can heal that where that doesn't have to exist anymore. It's tough. Because you bring all this knowledge here and people just forget it.
But do the dark feel that they are serving others, or do
Yes.
they have at least on some level knowing that they're controlling others and
No.
disregarding the laws of the universe?
Well, it's on how you look at it. They just do it for themselves. They can get, yes, a higher power CEO. So you look, I'm God. So
is there a flawed thinking in thinking that they're God? Is it a misunderstanding?
up to them. Others believe into it. Others are okay with that. It's just like a loop that never ends. The universe has not learned. The universe hasn't learned a lot of this. That's why you're here. The universe has a lot of issues also. Not just your world. All right, any other questions before we go?
I've got one. Maybe a little left field for you, but is Malcolm Baldrige connected to the mouse Soviet research?
Yes, it feels that way, yes. That's all we have to say. Yes.
Okay.
Secretly, I guess. Yes. Any other questions before we go? All right, sending energies. Sending you good nights. Rest well. Yes, Zona's energy can keep you up all night. Party all day.
All night and all day.
Thank you.
Yes, blessings.
Beautiful.
Namaste.